my Father, who gives you the true bread out of heaven. For the bread of God is that which comes down out of heaven and gives life to the world. They said therefore to him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall not hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. You see, the daily bread of old, the daily bread in the wilderness, was really a type or a picture. It should have pointed the Jews, and it should point us to Christ. Just as the ancient sons and daughters of Israel had to gather their daily bread every morning, and in doing so get to know their Heavenly Father in a personal and intimate way. So we're instructed in the disciples' prayer to ask for our daily bread. And we have to put forth the effort. We have to gather it every morning. Jesus said, he who comes to me shall not hunger. Here then is the meaning of the manna. The Father's provision of daily bread for the sons and daughters of Israel, and points to Christ. And for the sons and daughters of faith, the new Israel, it's also about Christ. That's what manna means. The Father has revealed his glory to us in his beloved Son. And he desires that we come to him every morning for our daily bread, the bread of life. He goes on to say, again, I am the bread of life. Your fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and they died. This is the bread that comes down out of heaven, so that one may eat of it and not die. I am the living bread that came down out of heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread also which I shall give for the life of the world, is my flesh. The bread of life was and is far superior to a daily sandwich and the manna in the wilderness. Although the manna was a picture of what was to come. Those that ate the manna all died. But those that eat of the living bread that comes down out of heaven will not die. So Jesus, in his model prayer for the disciples, tells them to ask the Father to give us each day our daily bread. I believe he harkens back to the days of manna in the wilderness. The Father's provision of daily bread for the nation of Israel so that they might know him. He tells the disciples, you're going to need the same thing. And they would soon find out that their daily bread was Jesus himself. In getting Jesus every day, they would get the one who is truth. And that truth would inform them of the will of God, that his will might be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Far be it from us to say, we loathe this miserable food. Far be it from us to say such a thing. Not with words, but with negligence or indifference. I just can't seem to make the effort. I just don't have time. No. Give us this day our daily bread. And just as the old Israelites had to make the effort to gather their daily bread every morning, so we must make the effort to meet Christ every morning. It was a 40-year lesson for the nation of Israel. I used to think that's a long, long time. But I've been Christian about 40 years. Time does go by. It was a 40-year lesson for the nation of Israel, and it's a lifetime lesson for each one of us. And God values consistency and faithfulness. They had to go out and pick it up every morning for 40 years. It's not hard, but it does take some time and a little effort in getting to know Him. Be faithful. And as you spend time before Him each morning, ask Him to give to you your daily bread. The bread of life. It's found in the Holy Word of Truth. But don't just stop at the page. Beyond the sacred page, I seek Thee, Lord. We talked about perceptive questions that the Scriptures ask. Here's one. Why do you spend money for what is not bread? Your wages for what does not satisfy? Listen carefully to me, and eat what is good, and delight yourself in abundance. Incline your ear and come to me. Listen, that you may live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you. When Jesus said, give us this day our daily bread, He wasn't talking about physical bread, the bread that perishes. He meant the life-giving bread that comes down from heaven. He wants His disciples to gather it every morning by spending time before Him in His Word and in prayer. If we neglect the true bread, all the physical bread in this world will be of no avail. Give us this day our daily bread.